Alright guys, we're back again. We're going to speedrun mission 6 today. It's one of my favourite missions to do because it's janky as hell and it's super dumb. Here comes the loading. Otter the Great is now playing Impossible Creatures. Good on you, son. Okay, skip the first cutscene. First thing to do, as always, is to jump into gameplay options and crank the game speed, which you can do for some stupid reason. Build the lightning rods. We've got to get a good economy going because we've got to level up as quickly as possible. Here's Rex shooting a cobra. He's a rugged man. And now we're going to shoot a chameleon as well, while Lucy sneaks by to destroy the sound beam tower and anti-air tower there with a very useful sabotage ability. Now, you'll notice that I ran Rex out of the way to convince the Archfish Armadillos to run after him, because that means you basically don't have to worry about dodging their attacks for a little while. Rex is going to save Lucy from this cheetah, still building henchmen at the lab. Okay, Rex, get this hyena, you beautiful man. Hyena is such a good stock, it's extremely useful for the rest of the replay. Watch me flub that input. Wow, I missed that hyena like 6 times. Wonderful. Oh man, I'm not good at this, huh? Okay, Lucy's going to run around here and bomb that anti-air tower. Rex is running in, and now look, I wanted to kill all these units. I'm going to do it by using their own artillery against them. Artillery is a speedrunner's best friend in this game, and Rex has so much health, you don't even have to be that careful really. Watch, he's going to stop and shoot a chimp midway through. Sorry, Mighty Joe Young. Oh wait, did he miss it? Sick! Nice one. Okay, cool. That chimp up north is one that you actually have to kill to complete an objective. We'll do it in a sec. Rex has lost a little more health than I intended him to, so we're going to use Lucy to tank some damage while we go to level 2. It's pretty peaceful in base village at the moment. Build some more lightning rods, because once again that economy is important. Build the lightning rods pretty far apart, further apart than normal, because you do face a lot of artillery from flyers, and you don't want to lose all your rods if you can avoid it. Lucy is going to destroy the last couple structures down here. We were a little bit slow, so they did manage to make some units from the chamber. If at all possible, you want to be fast enough that they don't get any units out, but it doesn't actually matter too much if they do. It's just a little bit slower. Now Lucy's going to do something very sneaky, having destroyed all those structures. The objective to clear out the caldera will not yet be completed. Sorry, Coyote. It won't be completed because there is one sandbeam tower on a cliff that Lucy cannot reach. We're going to destroy that with flyers in a moment. As a matter of fact, we're going level 3 right now. That's the last enemy in the caldera. He's dead.
Okay.
What would you have me do?
Yeah. See this? Lucy's going to repair this gyro pad. Now, just repairing this gyro pad is the next objective. By completing that objective now, before we complete the previous objective, it's going to let us do some really crazy cutscene stuff. Yeah, now we're getting the chimp. God damn. I am just atrocious, huh? Wait until you see my micro later on in this video. You're going to weep tears of blood. Rex is standing next to a crocodile. Crocodile loves it. Honored to be in the presence of such a
great work, boss.
Powerful man. We only have the panther and one other thing that I don't remember to get, and we're going to mix up a few combos here. I didn't name them. Foolishly, I'll have to name them next video. You know what? Pop a name in the comments. I'm a YouTuber. Hey, Dragonfly Lobster. Dragonfly Lobster drops insane DPS, 14 DPS with Barrier Destroy, and we gave it minimum stats to keep its cost down. Lobster Hyena is similar, 16 melee damage with Barrier Destroy and Pack, and minimum other stats because ideally, if you're doing it right, you just won't get hit.
All right.
A lot of this campaign is just glossy as possible combos.
Let's go.
Yep, here's Rex finding the last couple combos, the last couple stocks. I think it's a gorilla left to get. He's going to do that. Lucy's going to build an air chamber here. The location is important because the location and the geography of where you place this chamber is going to affect the timing of your next few moves. So I sent one flyer to destroy this sound beam. Once I destroy that sound beam, it destroys all the structures inside the caldera and opens up the objective to repair the pad. Now, critically, I added that flyer to group 3. That is super, super, super important. And I'm flying this guy up north for reasons that will become apparent later. Now, because it has regen and vanilla is stupid, regen flyers are basically immune to soundbeam towers. Now, Lucy's going to place this building here. She can never reach it. That area is completely isolated, but I have hotkey grouped that chamber for later use. And why? Well, okay, now we're doing some crazy cinematic stuff. We've loaded the cinematic into a really weird place that gives us menu control mid-cinematic. And I'm going to load the auto-saved game. The game automatically saves the game when you repair the gyro pad, or at least when you complete the objective to repair the gyro pad. So we load the game there, and it does this really crazy thing where you have full control over the inside of the cutscene. You have to increase game speed again for some weird reason. And I'm going to destroy this gyro pad because it looks sick and it gives me resources. Now, You probably missed that, but I commanded all my flyers to fly down south and start destroying buildings while the enemy creatures are on cinematic no stance. That's super important. But because I had that first flyer on hotkey group 3, I could, without having to see the flyers, I could tell all the flyers to attack down south and then move that one flyer specifically to destroy the sound beam towers on the cliffs that you will need to destroy to complete the mission. Now the gyrocopter has just picked up a henchman and is carrying it into the enemy base while the cinematic is still playing. Because while the cinematic is still playing, they won't build any creatures to defend their base, and all the enemy creatures that have spawned are on no stance, including these guys flying around over here in my base. The best thing to do at this point is to have Rex shoot down the creatures mid-cinematic. I'm trying to do that here, but I timed it poorly, so I don't have the opportunity to shoot many of them, I don't think. Okay, now, I cannot command the henchman to build a structure directly in the enemy base because I can't see it, but I can use the guard function to have the henchman and the gyrocopter guard the area that I placed that foundation in earlier, which means they start building the structure mid-cinematic, and that's why we let the cinematic play out. Okay, now I saved it while the lab was flying over the ocean, because that's another really weird, crazy thing about the cinematics in this mission. If you save and load during the lab's flight Nislet, the lab just drops to wherever the location is. Now, saving and loading the game is normally absolute poison to any speedrun, but in this case it means that the lab is at the bottom of the ocean and completely immune to damage, which means we don't have to worry about the hordes of archerfish armadillos that are about to hit us. So, still building still got those flyers over there. We can't micro them very well because we can't see them, but they will do their dirty work down south. Rex is still trying to shoot some birds. I dropped him out of the lab mid-cinematic to give him another chance. You can do that as well, by the way. And it looks like that chamber is complete, so we're using that chamber to spawn hyena lobsters. Come on, Rex. Has not managed to kill a single one of them yet. That's really poor. But we've already destroyed a couple structures in the enemy base during the cinematic and copped no aggro for it thanks to cinematic no stance. Alright, now these units, we're going to be very careful to keep them away from the flag that stops the tunnel spawning. Check my other video for more information on that, because if we stop the tunnel from proccing, then all the archerfish armadillos will spawn in one place and it'll be too hard to destroy the chamber. Alright, the lab is underwater and completely safe. It's dumb as hell. It can still do all your favourite lab stuff, but it is completely invulnerable to all attacks. And it's going to soak up a lot of aggro from the archerfish armadillos. Now my flyers are to the south. Watch them sitting there. They're just going to chill in case any henchmen run south and try and build an expo down there. They're unlikely to, but they might. Now the gyro, having tanked the sound beams for a little while and given my army a chance to actually get built, is going to build a sneaky little sound beam tower here. And this is critically important, because what this means is I can use the sound beam towers to tank the aggro of the archadillos as they're spawning. And once I tank the aggro, I can use my extremely weak flyers to come in. Oh my god, this micro is so hard to watch. I'm so sorry, guys. Goodness me. Can someone good at this game do this, please? And okay, now there's archadillos at my base starting to attack my henchman mining, but that's fine because I've got well and truly enough resources. My gyrocopter is guarding that sound beam, so he'll automatically repair it. Now I'm going to micro that sound beam carefully to make sure I keep the attention of every single archadillo so that none of them, because even a few hits will kill my stupid flyers. So I need to keep the archadillos busy. And I've only got 5 flyers. Notably, I flew them to the west and then north to avoid flying them past the flag because I really need to keep that tunnel trigger open. That's still super important at this point. Yep, and my hyenas are wasting a lot of time attacking henchmen that they don't need to attack because I'm bad. And then, now, okay, there you go. That water chamber is destroyed. And normally, that water chamber being destroyed means they will start building units, like regular units, like a normal AI would. Like they'll make flyers and creatures from a creature chamber, but I've destroyed their economy by this point, so they can't build anything to defend. And we're going to come down. I've used my henchman to distract this crocodile turtle. Oh, I love the henchman so much, he's so brave. And I'm going to destroy these last few structures. I used that flyer in hotkey group 3 to destroy those sound beams on the hills earlier, so these are the last structures in the level. You can see these archerfish armadillos just dopily flying, just hovering above the lab. And there you go, that's the mission over. I know that didn't make any sense at all, but thanks for watching.